Good morning, Pokemon players. My apologies for the late as F update, but this has been a simultaneously busy and light week for the Shiny Collection. Let me explain what that means. So big week for the Shiny Collection. Pokemon ZA's home update came out so that we can go ahead and get everything that we had on ZA because I did play through that game. I am still working my way through the DLC. I haven't had a lot of time to go ahead and put through to that because I do have, life, responsibilities, job outside of work and outside of the Shiny Collection, so I'm not able to Shiny hunt 24/7 like if I was a full-time streamer making money from that. But as it stands, I did have a bit of Shiny stuff going from various, like doing bench resets, the restaurant basement, and a few other random shinies. I had managed to fill in slots, like some of these Flabébés. There was a shiny Furfrou that I got for my first haircut trim in the collection. Now, this is not the only haircut trim that we have in total for our shiny collection. I believe between both myself and my wife, we have two other shiny Furfrous that are in our respective Pokemon Go accounts, just waiting to transfer over. I did come across another Oricorio in my collection, so now I'm only missing one Oricorio form for this part of the collection. All sorts of stuff like that. So ZA got us quite a little bit of progress in there, along with me having had the chance to take a moment to, instead of using Pokemon Home to trade things between my wife's home account and my own home account that she has offered to go ahead and get things moving, I moved some things from home into her Shield version save so that I could trade more than 10 at a time. So I did a batch of those, which also filled some more slots. We see here the base form of Floette with or Flabébé with the red flower. I filled in Talonflame slot. I did realize that extra fancy pattern Vivillon that I had gotten by accident when I was supposed to be hunting for one of the other ones. Since it was a spare, I slotted that one into here. So a couple of little add-ons here. Just as a little note here, what do I have written down? So we had that done. Home. The Furfrou cut. I am still looking for Regidrago. There is 1 day left for me to hunt for Regidrago when it comes to our shiny collection in Pokemon Go. It is in Go's raids until Wednesday morning, so I have a very limited window to do that. I did a little bit of hunting for it when it first hit last Wednesday, but because of my work schedule and picking up some overtime work, I didn't have as much time to hunt down the Regidragos as I would have liked, so I am also picking up some remote raids on Pokegenie to see if I can maybe get that one and save me from having to reset in Pokemon Sword and Shield in order to get that shiny. If I get it, I'll probably be able to get it into my collection by tomorrow because my transporter energy in Go is less than 24 hours from being fully charged. Otherwise, I can just transfer over a bunch of non-legendaries to help fill the collection as well that I also have in Pokemon Go. My spreadsheet, I did have linked on our Discord channel for the progress that I'm making on that. So as far as any of those numbers are going, I do have that available on there for anybody curious. What else? What else? All of these guys. I had meant to pull up just to kind of have some things on standby here. Yeah, like some of this, the Electros. Oh yeah, we got a couple of those transfers in too. But yeah, here we go. I'm just gonna go ahead and sit on this one. So we got that for the Regidrago. I also found out, I was looking around on LeakDuck, an excellent resource for Pokemon Go players to see what the upcoming raids are. Now, we have shiny Rayquaza, we have shiny Groudon. My wife has shiny Kyogre that's just waiting on a Go transfer, so I don't need those shiny hunts. But then so Groudon and Kyogre are coming into Pokemon Go raids. After those, we're apparently getting Tapu Koko. So we're going to be getting the Tapus in raid cycles coming in a couple of weeks. which I'm actually looking forward to. If I'm not mistaken, we do actually need a at least most of the Tapus. Where are they at? Oh wow. Now I'm pretty sure we have at least one of the Tapus floating somewhere, but I have none of them in here in the collection. So we are going to want to get those Tapus while they are in the Pokemon Go raids. So Coco's going to be first, and then one of the other Tapus is coming after that. I can only presume that past those two, the others are going to be the next two raid bosses that hit those legendary raids in Go's circulation, just because that's how they do. So, couple of weeks we have that to look forward to. On my Hatcher, I did get so I have Squirtle on one game and still Torchic on the other game, where I'm trying to hatch them to go ahead and fill out a couple of shiny slots. I got one Squirtle so that the Squirtle, Wartortle, what was it? So I have Blastoise that is breeding, and I did get one Squirtle, so I need one more to fill Wartortle in our collection here. Charmeleon is currently in Pokemon Go, waiting a Go transfer. And I still need 2 female Torchics when it comes to this collection for the form variants. I did get one female already that we don't need to worry about. There it is, the female Torchic right there. That is our little lady with the speck on her tail. But I still need 2 more to get female Combusken and Blaziken, because for some reason, all 3 of the whole line has form variants. I know. I also think that is the dumbest shit imaginable, considering that the form is not even noticeable outside of anything. But there is a difference. So for the sake of the collection, that is something we have to go for. And in that process, this past week, I even got 1 extra shiny male that was running on the Hatcher. So be on the lookout. I'm probably going to go ahead once this goes up and announce on Discord that I'm going to give away a handful of shiny Torchics, because now I have I have like 11 of them sitting on home, I think. In fact, what am I even saying? I think I can literally just pull it up here and look. Yeah, there we go. See? 11 shiny Torchics right there, all male, because 12.5% chance for a female to show up. So add that to the shiny odds, and it's a nightmare. At least with the Squirtle one, I only need the 1 more shiny, and then it's done. I don't need female, male, I don't need any form variants of that. But yeah, that's where we're at so far for the shiny collection. Again, sorry for the late update today. I would like to try and get these out at the beginning of Monday, but this was the Monday where I'm coming home from my overnight shift, and then I slept in late this afternoon, had some errands to run, and then had to go into home and start moving everything around to make sure things were slotted in and marked on the spreadsheet so that I can give you this week's numbers. Our current collection is at 522. Now, last week was 447, so that's a jump of 75, which sounds like a lot. And to be fair, there is a bit of a chunk in there that ZA added to the collection. However, some of that, like I said before, was sent over from my wife's home account, where she has a handful of shinies that she's sending into this collection that we're working together on. And so it's Pokemon that have been in there all together. But still, jumping from 447 to 522, I am really excited to see this collection coming together like that. Even if some of it is just things kind of migrating and slotting into their place. Our total, if we account everything that is on my wife's collection, on Pokemon Home, and on my Pokemon Go, we have a grand total of 691 filled, which is still, like I said, not as high as that 75 bump that we got, but it is still higher than last week because of that ZA transfer. and some other things that we just kind of have going in the background. I haven't even counted the Squirtle yet in that we hatched. It is sitting on Pokemon Shield version that is currently running the hatcher to try and get one more to fill that slot. But that'll probably be done hopefully by next week. And with any luck, maybe we'll finally get those last two female Torchics as well, and I can set Sword and Shield to be breeding other things that might be a little easier to come by that we need to fill these Pokedex slots with. So that's where we're at. Look forward to next week's update. Remember, Regidrago ends on Wednesday, or if you're seeing this after Wednesday, good luck. If you're hunting for the Kyogre and Groudon, those are going to be the next couple weeks in Go. Otherwise, you're hunting those in Dynamax Adventures, and good luck with that. I haven't had time to go and do more Deoxys resets. Streams are going to be a little bit limited for a little while. I am taking tonight off from the stream. I might take tomorrow off too to try and work on some other things, some other projects that we have for this YouTube channel. But we are still slogging forward, trying to get I'm trying to get a little bit of the easy and hard stuff out of the way, considering that a good chunk of the shiny collection is just moving things where they need to be so that we can mark down what we still need to hunt. I do know that some of the hunts that I have ahead of me are Gimmighoul. It also hit me that I had missed the window of opportunity to get a shiny roaming form Gimmighoul, and I am kicking myself in the teeth for that one. But I also need to try and get on ZA and see if I can get some shiny or some Sparkle Ghost type donuts and try and get myself set for a Gimmighoul hyperspace hole, because I need 2 of them for the Gholdengo and the Gimmighoul that I've caught and obtained myself. Unless, if they do another Gimmighoul raid event where they do it on Scarlet and Violet, but even that one's kind of hard to do because you are playing it at full odds unless you get one hosted where somebody else has a shiny and they're hosting it for you. But hey, we can only hope. There's so many things to do, so many angles, it's kind of hard to decide what specific hunt to go for at any given time. I still have a handful of Vivillons. I think about maybe a little more than half of the Vivillons left to hunt. But like I said, it's been a busy week. I've had some other things going on, but I do at least have the postcards in Go so that when I find the time, I can go for those hunts in Scarlet and Violet. And if I do, I'd love to be able to stream those just to hang out with you guys. So that's what we have for today, for this week. Look forward to next week's update. Hopefully we'll have a bigger jump with some extra shinies in there.